My early experience of life, I suppose, was having left school very early at 14. I was a hairdresser, barber, working with my father, which was experience with people, which I didn't like the work. I just was bored with it. All these different kinds of people coming in. Well, but it's an interesting experience, as you can imagine. But my father did let me go and have art lessons, private lessons with a local teacher, but she had a great big Victorian garden, big house and studio, and I used to go down there Saturday afternoons at the height of busyness for my father, and I don't know whether he let me go, but I always used to hate coming back because he gave me a black look as what the hell I was doing, wave painting, so to speak. That's what I thought. Managed to get into the art college at Salisbury after that and did a 5-year course down there. Well, actually it was 6 years, I had 1 extra year. And because I did lots of things down there, different things, but they specialised in painting and drawing in the end. And after Salisbury I went to Sheffield for a year to learn to teach. Then after Sheffield I taught in the Black Country, which was in a girls' school. Teaching, I coped with it, but it was very difficult sometimes with it. It's not what I really wanted. I wanted to teach in a quiet little art school, but I didn't manage that except part-time. And then I stayed in the Black Country for about 2 years, met my wife, the Black Country, and I then moved to rugby. Coming here in Leamington was one of the reasons that one of my son used to come here for acupuncture, and I used to come over and I liked the look at the place. Our house was far too big, and I'd retired early. I retired early from teaching in 1980, and I wanted to move out. I couldn't cope with the big house I had in Rugby, and we moved here, and in about 7 years ago, and I was attracted to the place. In a sense, it reminded me a bit of my town in Wiltshire. It had a bit more sort of what might say, a bit more about it culturally. It was interesting, and I just found it quite a place where I could paint and draw with a bit more freedom, I suppose. So I worked mainly quickly from sketches outdoors, and I also was keen on people and groups of people and kinds of people. Now, I mean, I don't know whether this might echo back from my days as a barber, I don't know, or days in the Navy, but I wanted to capture something with this kind of light you got in Leamington. I'm almost overwhelmed by it, by things around in Leamington, in the park, by colour and life. Basically, I think I'm trying to find myself. Now that might sound a bit vague, really. I think if I try too much to be too ambitious, I'm not going to do it. If I try to do work which people would like all the time, I don't think I would find myself. And I think finding oneself, you don't find oneself by intellectualism all the time, or reading books. You find it by other means, which you cannot always talk about, you cannot always define. It's difficult to define it. So in a sense, it's almost like a mystery. You paint because you're trying to unfold the mystery of what you are, what I am. This is how it is. It's an unfolding all the time. So you may see, if you look at some of my early stuff, it's much different from my later stuff. Some of the stuff I do, I don't complete, because sometimes I say, well, okay, well, that's it. I've said what I want to say in something. At that particular point in finding myself. So that's it. I go to the next one, which I might complete a little bit more, you see. And so that's how it goes, really. I found various methods. I mean, watercolour I used to use at one time. I didn't find that was adequate, not at this particular time. And my wife suggested using watercolour crayons, you know, which are these sort of things, which are quite good. So you could work with these on different coloured grounds. I began to work on coloured grounds. I got these coloured sketchbooks, you know, the sort. And I started to paint on the coloured grounds. And I suppose it was like starting again, really, painting. With all the experience I've had over the years and years before I came here, it was though it's starting afresh, something quite new. And so I began to work with these. Now, these in itself were all right, but I mean, they were not adequate enough, really. The colours itself, the pastel colour, these watercolour crayons, they're all watercolour crayons. They gave a certain amount of brightness, but I couldn't get it bright enough as far as these blossoms were concerned. So I began to think in terms of black and white, because black and white was so very powerful. But you see, as you see, the actual intensity of the light and dark is far more than you get there, isn't it? You can see that intensity. It's almost dazzling, isn't it? Even in that small black and white there. So I wanted to get something big. I even blew these up again, you see, because these were a bit too small. I want to get something a bit bigger. So that even gets, when you see more, it comes out at you a bit more. And then I decided to use each section. I want to colour each section. This is the top part of that one there, you see. And you've got that one there, you see, there again. But, so there you get the black and white having its effect on the actual colour behind. Black always appears to bring out the pink a lot better. That is a problem that I'm starting something off, really, thinking of composition, so I might get this sort of, see this quite part of it, I won't say it's complete, but I love these shapes you get almost like an elephant's hide just there. His great feet has a certain character. It's got a bit of sort of fantastic about it. You know, it's sort of almost like eyes and this. Sometimes you might get distorted into it. Again, you've got the roots. I always love the roots of the trees. They give a very fantastic sort of form. I part-time teaching of painting and drawing and yoga until about a couple of years ago when I packed it in. So now I'm trying, what time I have now I devote to painting. Although, having said that, I only might devote 2 hours a day at it. If it's 2 hours is enough, or not even that. But because there's so much to see and so much to capture around here, that it's all embracing. When you do something in art and you look at it, the actual symbol for yourself, the symbol of the tree, its growth, the symbol of objects in a picture, the placing of objects, the symbol of people, how they group. It's a non-conceptual thing. The true's too much. I'm not letting myself come through. It's only, say, since I packed up teaching, I began to expand and find myself again, you see. I think teaching was all right, but it wasn't a way of finding myself. I mean, a lot of the stuff I do now, I wouldn't have tolerated it, say 30 years ago, and but that doesn't worry me anymore. I mean, I just do what I have to do, and so it is. So that's how it is. When I first painted years ago, I was told how to paint trees, how to paint grasses, how to mix colours, and do this and that and the other. But I don't. I'm trying to always shoving that away. It's still there. I'm trying to find my own level, my own way of doing things. I think I'll leave it until next time. I've done more actually today than I thought I would, really. As a rule, I don't go that far. I think I'm playing up to the camera a bit. I might have done just a small drawing, but I am interested in this bit because there's a contrast between the natural form and the architecture. So actually, coming back to this, is sort of going back to what they call the leitmotif, which is the leading thing which grabs you all the time, you know. It's like people, it gets you, it gets your colour, it gets you. You're after it all the time. It's a crazy sort of drive which just takes you go forward and forward, and it's always there. I mean, and you're overwhelmed by it.